Somehow, bad product design returned. Hey there, kiddos, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank, and that you are having a great day. And in today's video, I'm going to be chatting while I work because I've got just a bit of bulk to sort through. And as for what I'm sorting, it's surprise! Star Wars Unlimited, the card game everybody says that I hate. And yeah, there is, I suppose, reason to actually talk about it. There is a brand new set out called A Lawless Time, I think. I'm very confident, since I just played with some of the cards, like, not that long ago. And yeah, I did actually have a chance to sit down with the new set, play with some of the cards, look through the galleries, and see what was going on there. There is a lot going on worth talking about, I think. But let's get the basics out of the way with a little bit of a market catch-up. As of the recording of this video, it's a word I haven't read in a while. As of the recording of this video, the regular booster boxes for the set are sitting at around $90 to $95, which is honestly not terrible, all things considered. It's not great, but it's not end of the world bad. As for the carbonite boxes, they are sitting at roughly $200, $195 to $205. Depends on the store, on the website selling them, or if you're getting them on TCG Player. I think at the moment they're sitting at exactly $200. So fun stuff there. It's not end of the world, but of course they aren't doing amazing on the secondary market. As for the cards themselves, there is a lot of cards in this set. Maybe not in terms of like the actual set number. I think there's like 200 something cards in the set, but they have so many variants. Every card seems to have like 2 or 3 variants for it, which is insane in my opinion. It's the same problem I have with Magic the Gathering for its collector booster era, where every rare had to have a bazillion +1 variants. The extended art, the full art, the showcase card, all that jazz. And then you throw in stuff like a variant you can only get in collector boosters, and it makes the situation that much worse, in my opinion. But we're not here to gripe about Magic the Gathering. We're here to talk about Star Wars. As for how the set's doing itself, let's put that down, move that over here. The set itself is honestly, like I said, not doing that bad. The collector carbonite boosters are fine. The regular boosters are not great, but not awful. As for the actual singles, there are plenty of cards in the set, loads of cards in the set that are well over the $100 mark as of the recording of this video, which is theoretically good if there's actual demand for these cards at those prices. But what we're seeing a lot in the market right now, especially if you look at TCG Player best sales, it looks like a lot of the cards that are actually selling are not the high-end cards. It's the cheaper cards that people actually want for their decks, the utility cards, as other channels would put it. And yeah, there does seem to be an actual vivid player base still looking to actually get the cheaper cards that they want for their decks, and only a handful of people are going out of the way to acquire the high-end. I think there's showcase variants and hyperspace variants, and I think there's another variant. Oh, and there's serialized cards in the set too, so there's like 4 potential versions for some cards, I think. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've seen like showcase, no, it's showcase, hyperspace, and serialized, I think, are the variants. So 3. But yeah, it's crazy. And yeah, there's serialized cards in the game. I think I was unaware of the fact that there were serialized cards in Star Wars Unlimited. If I had talked about that before, then it's completely slipped my mind. I am an old man. I have old man brain, so I forget things like that. But yeah, a lot of the cards that we're actually seeing sold are not the high-end, super collectible cards that you can only get from the carbonite boosters. Instead, it's the cards that people want to actually play with to play the game, rather than collect or invest or speculate on, which is interesting. And there does, just as I was skeptical and wary of the idea of the carbonite boosters themselves, I am skeptical of all these variants. I know hyperspace rares were a thing since the beginning, but in my opinion, too many variants of your base cards can lead to issues not just with players finding difficulty in finding the exact version of the card they're looking for, but in stores, just keeping track of their inventory, because when you have so many variants of so many different cards, it does become difficult, genuinely difficult, in my opinion, for all sorts of stores to keep track of what all's going on with your set. Um, which is obviously not, super bad for the larger guys. I'm just saying that if you're a smaller store and you have thousands of cards to sort through and you're trying to get them all ready to sell, you might have a bit of a problem. Just keeping track of everything. It's just something to keep in mind. Not a huge problem, but something to be aware of is that, you could make a mistake easily with so many variants. And I think the wider Star Wars Unlimited community is aware of that as well, because there have been some gripes online about the sheer number of variants. Not terrible amount, mind you, just there have been people talking about it, which I think just at the very least reinforces my opinion. Maybe not the opinion of others who are super passionate about the game, but still needs to be said. As for where I see the set going, honestly, with the exception of the complaints I've seen online towards variants and some balance things, I have seen people complain a bit about some balance issues with the set, but I've seen balance complaints about every set of Star Wars Unlimited so far, I think. But with that aside, I think this set has been actually genuinely well received. I've seen a lot of people complimenting the core mechanics. I myself did not have a terrible time playing with the cards I was playing with, and a lot of people seem super enthusiastic, super hopeful about the future of Star Wars Unlimited with the release of A Lawless Time. So there's something there. As for me personally, am I changing my tune? Am I hyper optimistic? No. I still have the firm belief that if any of the current TCGs end up on the chopping block, Star Wars Unlimited is most likely to be that TCG. If only because while there is positivity and while there is definitely not failure in the game as of now, it definitely, in my opinion, just seems to have the weakest turnouts of the larger TCGs at large, I should say. Because of the TCGs that I actually keep track of. Okay, keep in mind, I don't keep track of every TCG, so I don't follow Union Arena, and I don't, Weiss Schwartz is hardly a TCG in my opinion. It's just a collector's game. But of Magic, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Force of Will, Flesh and Blood, Star Wars Unlimited. I think there's another one that I keep track of roughly. No, I think that's it. Because I don't track the One Piece card game. I don't track anything for that, meta or otherwise. But of the ones that I actively keep an eye on, Star Wars Unlimited definitely seems to have the worst turnouts and the worst, I don't say the worst, but the least amount of people talking about it, which is something to be said, I think. Now, I know that this is not a video talking about the overall game. This is just me talking about all this time, and there's a very loud truck outside revving its engine for no freaking reason. But, overall, the set itself, doing good. The game itself as a whole, I'm still kind of shaky on, still kind of wary on. I do legitimately, like I said, obviously I'm buying Star Wars Unlimited. I'm sorting Star Wars Unlimited. I always buy bulk when it comes my way. So I hope it does well, and, I am banking on it succeeding, but I do just still have my overall concerns. I still think Carbonite boosters and the sheer number of variants of the cards is a net negative for the game itself, and I do worry just about the overall future of the game with kind of so much being produced in such a small amount of time. It does, to me, feel like the company is just trying to grab as much of the market as they can while they can, rather than worrying about long-term sustainability, and that worries me, okay? It is just something that needs to be said. But I suppose I will stop there for today. I just wanted to give you guys a little check-in of the set itself. Is there anything else I want to say about the set? Yeah, actually, you know what? Something I do want to say, something that bugged me slightly bit as I was going through the cards the other day. The Jabba's Palace scenes from Return of the Jedi seemed to have a lot of relevance to the set. Jabba himself was there. There's plenty of cards in the set referencing moments from that sequence in the film. And you know what was absent? There's no serialized card of it. There's no alternate art card of it. There's not even like a regular card of it. There's no super collectible version of it, and it bugged me. And it's the one thing that I think a lot of Star Wars fans, especially a lot of older Star Wars fans, would have really wanted in a set by this point. There was no Slave Leia card, no Leia in the Jabba's Palace bikini thing, and I thought that was weird, especially for like a card game that really wants to capitalize on Star Wars as it is, and a card game that really wants to try to get as much money out of the market as it can. I'm telling you, Fantasy Flight, give us the Slave Leia card, because I guarantee if you make that a serialized card, that will be worth so much money. Probably would be the most in-demand serialized card. Well, at the very least for Star Wars Limited. I don't want to say like the entire wider market, because I think there's some really cool serialized Yu-Gi-Oh cards right now over in Japan that are commanding quite the premium. But at the very least, it would probably be like the holy grail of Star Wars Unlimited cards. But it kind of irked me that it was completely absent from the set that seemed to draw so much inspiration from that sequence of the movie. But I suppose I'll leave it there. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you agree with me, disagree with me? Think I'm crazy for buying cards of a game that I'm so negative about? Let me know. Please like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Check out the Discord. Check out the Patreon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ciao!